Yep. Okay, take it away, Ed. I'll let you guys go.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, caller. I went to your YouTube channel, and are you in some kind of punk rock or metal band?
Yeah, I'm in a bunch of different bands up here in California, and that's mainly what all those are. I don't really have any conspiracy stuff on there.
I know, it's cool. No, I mean, 'cause I play music.
Oh, what do you play?
Well, did you hear the intro? That was me covering an old Metallica song, Creeping Death. But
cool.
Anyways,
What instrument?
I play guitar, bass, and drums. I record them on my computer, so it's always cool to see musicians.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for the call. What was the other thing you mentioned just before we let you go? I think there's one other point you made before the right. You said what was the first thing you mentioned before the geocentric?
Oh,
bloodline.
Bloodline.
Yeah, Bob. What do you think? What do you think about bloodlines, Bob?
Oh, I mean, hey, that's where it's at. These families have never disappeared from power. Okay, they are the same old families and old. See, we don't even know their names. Rockefellers, ha, finger puppets. Rothschilds, ha, finger puppets. Come on, guys, let's get real. Okay, let's get real. I don't want to hear. No offense, I don't want to hear about Rothschilds and Rockefellers. Because that's the finger puppet show that we're meant to watch. Do you think we'd actually know the names of the true power families that run this planet? Oh, good luck. But no, but on the base level, knowing the bloodlines is very important. And you're right, on the bare bone of it, there are 13 family bloodlines that basically represent the front company. They are the front company of the power structure. And to know them is to keep track of how the money is being spent. So I'm not gonna beat down that idea, but the idea that we keep latching onto the same 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 families or names, we're doing ourselves as a movement disservice. We have to dig deeper. We've got to get behind the finger puppets, the marionettes on the front end of it, and move further down up those bloodlines.
And you know about Fritz Springmeier he wrote the book called Bloodlines of the Illuminati, and guess where he is now? He's in prison for a very suspicious charge. A lot of those Christian New World Order researchers, with him, John Todd, and Bill Cooper, either end up dead or in prison. It's very, very curious. But he wrote the book Bloodlines of the Illuminati, which is absolutely in depth, all about that stuff. But
absolutely.
But yeah, so you want to go back into the point. Oh, sorry, no, go ahead, caller. I'm sorry.
Ancient of Ways was mentioning Ron Paul or his wife's ancestry. He's like supposed to be really cool. I wonder if there's anything about him that, he's part of this too, but just, to try to make it look good.
Yeah, I mean, man, yeah, you just how mainstream we got and the huge funding and. Yeah, I mean, and just the whole thing with people, regardless if that's true about his bloodline, people should never put that much faith in one person. So, I don't want to just mindlessly bash him, but I don't know. I've heard a lot of things about Ron Paul, to be honest. I've heard he's a Freemason. I've heard, who knows what's true. I mean, that could be true. I don't know. I haven't actually looked into that, to be honest. Do you know anything about that?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, he is definitely a Freemason. But we'll give Jeff his due on this one. Jeff says, so what? And until proven otherwise, I'll agree with that. So what? But it does raise the possibility that he is co-opted. Remember, Freemasons are bound by oaths that go way deep, guys. We're not initiated unless some of us are, and I don't know about it. But my point is that unless you've been through the initiation process, you have no idea what kind of binding goes into this stuff. I mean, this is deep subconscious consciousness reprogramming. It's resetting the software, or the hardware, so to speak. And so it is suspect. It makes him suspect. And that's all I'll say on that. His son is running down south of me here, down in Kentucky. My question is, where did the son come from? Did he live in Kentucky all that time? I've lived here all my life. I've never heard of Rand Paul. Okay? Where are these guys coming?
Bob.
They just show up in a state and they start running. They're carpetbaggers. In the old days, they called that carpetbaggers. When companies combined and they took over the whole market in the old days, they called that a trust. And there were antitrust laws. Where did the antitrust laws go? Where did the carpetbagging laws go? Where are our minds, guys? That's my question, Ed and caller. Where are our minds at? Where's the critical thinking? And it has been completely washed out of us through the mainstream media and the indoctrination outcome-based, I won't even call it education, it's just pablum. I have my own in the public school system, and it is shameful. It is shameful. Thank you, Ed, for letting me get that off my chest.
Hey, Bob, this is Jeff again.
Oh, my God, I think I recognize Grupp's voice. Ed, is that Grupp?
Hey, I am glad you broke the ice on this issue. So many people are afraid to say anything about Ron Paul. I'm going to go with you on this and say, Ed and I were chatting about this the other night, and I'm not going to say Ed was not agreeing with me or anything. I'm not going to say, I was just sharing some views with him, and here's basically what they were. Ron Paul is basically identical to Glenn Beck right now, because what is Glenn Beck? Glenn Beck is someone who tells us all kinds of really pretty much conspiratorial information. Now he's talking about the water being contaminated even, and X-ray machines through the walls that the government's going to use through analyzing the insides of our houses, et cetera, et cetera. Now Glenn Beck is disclosing that, but what won't Glenn Beck discuss? He will not discuss 9/11 truth. He will not discuss Building 7, no planes, the controlled demolitions, or Dr. Judy Wood's information. On the other hand, and he won't discuss the Pentagon. He won't discuss any of this stuff, but he'll give us some conspiratorial information. That's exactly the same thing Glenn Beck does. And that really, I don't know if I want to say it makes me suspicious of him or want to make some claims that I don't trust him or something. It just kind of makes me mad. He's really, we need to go for the truth here, or else we're just screwed, basically, to put it as we should. I mean, so I think the whole thing is kind of a deception. And it's strange that, he was, I don't know, that's pretty much all I want to say about that. I agree with you, the whole Rand Paul thing. It's got me curious. These people, we always get families working together. The Clintons are a family working together. Yep. The Bushes are a family together. Now we have the Pauls working together. I mean, everything just is weird about this whole thing. And you can elect all these guys in office. You can put all the Tea Parties in there. It doesn't mean anything because, like Bob, you said, finger puppets. Who? I mean, was it one of the Rockefellers or Rothschilds told us, I don't care who you put in there. I just want to control the money. We'll just throw millions of dollars of lobbyist checks at them, like I was saying on Russia Today yesterday. And who cares? It's not going to matter one single bit. So, I mean, the whole thing is a complete joke. Just like I was saying also on Russia Today, that until you go up the chain, get rid of corporatism, get rid of secret societies and so forth, the whole thing is comical. Tea parties I'm just laughing my butt off over these stupid Tea Partiers and protesters, and the whole thing is just a complete joke. And now I've got so many people in the conspiracy movement getting mad at me, lashing back because I'm attacking the conspiracy movement. And I say, bring it on. I love it. Go for it, because I know I'm right, because this conspiracy movement is a total joke failure. So there you go, guys.
Absolutely. They need to get moving. The conspiracy movement does a lot of talk. They do a lot of exposing this, that, or the other, and then it just sits in the middle of the living room with no action whatsoever. And I'll be honest, I'm not into action with no like let's just do something to do. No, it's not about that. But my God, how about a campaign to do something? Something, anything. But this just wild gyration of this is that, that's this. And the Tea Party movement, yes, great that you brought this up. What a co-opted event that has turned into overnight. I mean, come on, when they put somebody like Sarah Palin and Glenn Beck at the head of this thing, it's finished. It's over. Put a fork in it. It's done.
Yeah, and actually, just real quick for 9/11, a new update on 9/11 Truth I want to throw in here for the show. Anwar al-Awlaki, totally butchered that, was one of the people the CIA claims orchestrated 9/11 and other terrorist attacks, ate lunch at the Pentagon after 9/11. And this is from NewYorkDailyNews.com. This is not a conspiracy website. It's a fact. He actually, months after 9/11 happened, he was eating. It was like a Muslim outreach program or something. So anyways, it's just so obvious, and this actually goes in with what Jeff is saying, how it's almost like they want us to know 9/11 was an inside job. I mean, how much more obvious can this get?
That's right. That's absolutely true. Is the caller still on? Am I cutting the caller off?
Yeah.
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 Yes. Okay. Go ahead.
I just found it strange that the 9/11 truth movement totally discredits the no plane thing. And Ron Paul will not talk about 9/11, and yet he goes on Alex Jones constantly. And we're like good buddies. And why? I'm not opposed to the no plane theory because there's millions of different ways to manipulate what you see, because it's just everybody saw that on the news. There was there wasn't a lot of people that witnessed it that did, and they could do anything. I mean, with Hollywood, special effects and all that. And also today in the news, somebody left a $10,000 cash donation at the World Trade Center donation box today. Did you guys see that?
No. Go into that?
Yeah, they have no idea. It's an anonymous donation at the donation box at the World Trade Center, at Ground Zero. They have a donation box.
Oh,
Somebody
wow.
put $10,000 in cash in there today, and they have no idea who it is or why. So that's kind of strange.
And that ties into money, what Bob's saying. Bob, go
Right.
back into money. We need to get back into that. That was really good where you're going with that.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, I don't want to cut the caller off if he's got anything else to share.
Oh, yeah. If there's anything else, caller, I think we'll go back into Bob because we have just a little bit under an hour. Is there anything else you want to throw in?
No, I'm good. I'll hang up and just listen. I'll go back to the chat room.
Cool, yeah, and we have your YouTube channel now, so I like to keep in touch with the listeners. I mean, if they want to, of course, but BW666D, and yeah, I'll probably send you a message and talk about music sometime or something.
Cool, yeah, definitely. I want to see if do you have your stuff posted on YouTube?
Yeah, it's actually, I need to put that out there. I don't know why I don't promote my band. It's False Flag Hardcore. We're a hardcore punk band that sings all about false flag and in the Illuminati. It's myspace.com/falseflaghardcore. And my singer would be very happy to know I did that today. So anyone listening, if you guys want to hear it, it's myspace.com/falseflaghardcore. I recorded all the instruments. He does vocals.
Cool.
Okay. But thank you, caller.
Yeah, put a link in the chat.
Okay, yeah, good idea. So we'll go
All right,
back to Bob.
later.
Thanks, caller. You have really great info, caller. So we'll
Thanks for calling.
Oh, no
All
problem.
right.
Thanks for doing. All right. Bye.
Bye. Okay, Bob. So go right ahead.
Oh, hey, no worries. Hey, all right. Got Ed's False Flag group here, tearing it up out there. Hey, I like the intro music. We're all squared away. Okay, so we kind of left off. If we delve back into that dark room with our orange candlelight, the dollar is a talisman. Okay, the bill is a talisman. The bills that they put in our hand are a talisman. And these things are encoded with sigils, right? A sigil, and I'm going to redefine a sigil a little bit. It is a combination of symbols that effect a change. Okay, they're complex sometimes. Sometimes they're very simple. I know the really base sigil to look at would be that pyramid inside the circle on the back of a dollar bill. That is a sigil. There are multiple symbols working in conjunction with each other to create a certain effect, and that's exactly what it does. That's why they couldn't get rid of it. Now, also a talisman, to gain its energy, remember we have to accept it. And every time we put one in our wallet or put a series of them in our wallet, and guess what, guys? We're not getting away from this. Well, I guess when we go paperless or without money, man, we go to cashless. I guess that theory goes to the wayside, dude. No, the money flows still on that corporate logo debit card, okay? You're going to have one of your more powerful sigils in ultimate crisp, clear color for your consciousness or subconsciousness to take in. But for now, it's this. Remember, these are their old tricks. That's why they're coming out in mass, because they've got new tricks to keep us in this base consciousness, this three-dimensional level that we've discussed before. But also, not only do we have to accept it, we have to take it, almost like inviting a vampire in a house. Will you take this $20 bill? Of course I will. Come in, come in. But also, it has to be moved. It has to be moved around. It has to be passed on. Okay, so in the old days...
Think about bloodlines, Bob.
Oh, I mean, hey, that's where it's at. These families have never disappeared from power, okay? They are the same old families and old... See, we don't even know their names. Rockefellers, ha! Finger puppets. Rothschilds, ha! Finger puppets. Come on, guys, let's get real, okay? Let's get real. I don't want to hear... No offense. I don't want to hear about Rothschilds and Rockefellers being spent. So I'm not going to beat down that idea. But the idea that we keep latching onto the same 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 families or names, we're doing ourselves as a movement disservice. We have to dig deeper. We've got to get behind the finger puppets, the marionettes on the front end of it, and move further down up those bloodlines.
And about Fritz Springmeier he wrote the book called Bloodlines of the Illuminati, and guess where he is now? He's in prison for a very suspicious...
Because that's the finger puppet show that we're meant to watch. Do you think we'd actually know the names of the true power families that run this planet? Oh, good luck. But no, but on the base level, knowing the bloodlines is very important. And you're right, on the bare bone of it, there are 13 family bloodlines that basically represent the front company. They are the front company of the power structure. And to know them is to keep track of how the money is.
Yep. Okay, take it away, Ed. I'll let you guys go.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, caller. I went to your YouTube channel, and are you in some kind of punk rock or metal band?
Yeah, I'm in a bunch of different bands up here in California, and that's mainly what all those are. I don't really have any conspiracy stuff on there.
I know, it's cool. No, I play music.
What do you play?
Well, did you hear the intro? That was me covering an old Metallica song, Creeping Death. But
cool.
Anyways,
What instrument?
I play guitar, bass, and drums. I record them on my computer, so it's always cool to see musicians.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for the call. What was the other thing you mentioned just before we let you go? I think there's one other point you made before the right. You said what was the first thing you mentioned before the geocentric?
Bloodline.
Bloodline.
Yeah, Bob. What do you think?